Hey guys, it's Teresa. Welcome back to It's Just Another Shilling. I'm so glad you're here with me. Today I got a delicious dinner for you. We really enjoyed it. It is some coconut curry chicken. I found this recipe online. Of course I changed it because it's what I do. And I made it to fit the ingredients that I have right now. We're getting ready to go on a trip. I want to get rid of some of the stuff that's sitting in my freezer and in my refrigerator so that when we come home we don't have any surprises. And so this is what I came up with. I hope you guys enjoy.
So as usual, the recipe will be down in the description box below. Right here you can see I have my chicken, my curry powder, pink Himalayan sea salt, freshly ground pepper, there's coconut oil over there, chopped onion, a can of coconut milk, some ginger. I did not use fresh ginger, but it's delicious that way. Garlic cloves, raw cashews, some spinach, and then for me, some riced cauliflower. Let's get started. So the first thing you need to do is get your rice ready. I saw how to cook rice by a friend a long time ago, and so I do not use measurements for it. What you do is you get your rice, you put it in a pan, rinse it out really well, usually about 2 or 3 times. You want to get most of that starch off of it. And then you put it back into the pan with water, and you want the water to be 1 inch over the top of the rice. Now, every single time I've done this, my rice has come out perfect. So I encourage you to try it. It works for me. So now I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons of butter into my rice and then get it over to the stove and get it heating up. I just want to bring it to a low simmer and get that butter melted before I turn it down and start it cooking. So next I'm going to get my chicken ready. Today I bought chicken tenders. I figured they'd just be a little bit easier. I'm going to cut them up into bite-sized pieces, and it's going to look like a lot, but that's because I made enough so that I could have leftovers the next couple of days. So now that my chicken is all cut up and ready to go, I'm going to go ahead and add the spices. I have the curry powder, the pink Himalayan sea salt, and the pepper. I'm going to put those over the chicken, and then we are going to mix them in. I know, I stick my hands in raw meat a lot, but it actually doesn't gross me out at all when you realize that once it's done, it's going to be eaten. I also wash my hands really well after every single time I touch the meat. So here I'm just making sure that every single piece is nicely coated with the seasoning mix so that it can start just bringing in that flavor. So by now my rice is starting to simmer, my butter is melted. I want to get that turned down to very, very low. Give it a quick stir, put a lid on it, and just let it sit. This is going to set just until dinner is ready. Or probably about 15 minutes. So I have my pot, I have it set at medium heat. I'm going to go ahead and get coconut oil in there. Coconut oil is really funny when it's warmer out. It is softer consistency, it's more melty. When it is colder out, it is harder. It melts at room temperature, which is great when I'm making stuff and having to do measures. But it also can be solid like a butter if you want it to be. So I'm going to put that in there, and then I'm going to go ahead and throw my onions in there. What I do with my onions is I actually will buy a bag and chop the whole entire bag and then throw whatever I don't use into the freezer. So whenever I need chopped onions, I can just go right ahead in there and get them out. For these onions, we don't want to brown them, we just want to sweat them, which means that we're going to get them translucent without cooking them high and fast. Next, what I went ahead and did is put the whole can of coconut milk, the ginger, and the garlic all in the blender, and I have them pureeing just to get them nice and smooth. They're going to go in a little bit. While I was sauteing my onions, I went ahead and heated up some more coconut oil and threw cashews in the pan so that I could get those browning. You want those to be low and slow so you can be watching them as they cook. You don't want to burn them. Once the onions are translucent, we're going to go ahead and add the chicken into the pan. We're not aiming to brown the chicken, we're just aiming to get it cooked. It's going to give it a different texture. It's going to make it softer, easier to chew. It's going to make it delicious, guys. So now that my chicken's in the pot, I'm going to go ahead and add the coconut milk, garlic, ginger mixture, and then we're going to let this simmer. It's going to simmer until the sauce is reduced by quite a bit and it's starting to get thick. Make sure you don't forget about those cashews. That spoon got really hot just sitting there. I had to go run it under water to get it cooled off a little bit. But I'm not forgetting about those cashews. I have them on a really low heat and I'm just trying to get them golden brown. Probably going to turn them off here in a second. So I just want to take a second here and show you my rice. It's all nice and fluffy. I'm giving it a little mix just to make sure it's cooked all the way through. It isn't really browned on the bottom. It's just absolutely perfect. So here you see my sauce is nice and thick. It has a good thick bubble going on with it. I'm going to go ahead and throw spinach in. Now the recipe called for fresh spinach, but I didn't have any. I had frozen spinach. So I went ahead and just thawed it for a little bit and then broke it up and threw it in. I probably put about 2 cups in there, and I think if I make this again, I might put a little bit more. It makes it look really ugly, but I just really like the flavor that it gives to it. So the spinach only really needs to cook for a minute or two. We're not really looking to actually cook it. We're looking just to get the temperature up and make it not frozen anymore. So I'm going to give it a stir into the pot, probably turn the heat off and just let it set. The heat of the chicken right now will definitely warm it up to the point where we don't need to worry about anything. So there you have it, coconut curry. It was so good. I had this twice for lunch at work. I couldn't recommend it more. You're going to have to go try it yourself. It was super easy and super delicious. I'm so glad you joined me today. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, and give this video a thumbs up. See you next time.
Hello, my favorite coconut chicken.